name is Thore Sekkenes. I'm going to talk to you about the European Battery Alliance and a little bit about our business investment platform, especially on raw materials. So here we go. I lead EBA250, which is this European Battery Alliance. This is a cooperative ecosystem or alliance, if you may, consisting of a number of different companies. The European Commission is in there. The countries that are involved in battery manufacturing, investment institutions, key industrial and innovation academia stakeholders. The EBA250 is housed inside the EIT Innoenergy, which is a company, as the European Commission has entrusted on us to drive this alliance. And the common goal that we have in this alliance is, of course, to create a European battery industry. We anticipate that if all goes well, and it is looking very well, we will by the year 2025 create an industry which wasn't there a couple of years ago, worth 250 billion euros per year. And that's a quite large industry. What is important? One of the things that is important is that EBA represents the whole value chain. We're today talking about raw materials, of course, but EBA represents the whole value chain from raw materials, active materials, going through the cell manufacturing companies, battery packs, applications, and then recycling back into this circular economy. Continuing. So EBA 250 has more than 500, now getting close to 550 different members, and they are distributed across the value chain, as you can see on this slide. The numbers then indicate how many members are in that part of the value chain, so to say. Some of the members, they of course extend across the whole value chain. Financial institutions is a good example. Many of them invest all throughout the value chain. Yes, continuing. Then I'd like to say a few words about a tool that we have created. We started this last year, and we call it the Business Investment Platform. So what is that? Well, the Business Investment Platform is a tool that where we, with our knowledge and our network within Innoenergy, our extended network, Innoenergy and this European Battery Alliance, assist in industrial initiatives to get access to private and public funding. We anticipate that for this target of reaching these 250 billion euros by 2025, some 70 billion euros has to be invested in order to make that industry work. This picture shows that the BIP is a platform between the private and public funding and the industry, so to say. This slide each one of the bubbles shows different projects or companies or initiatives across the value chain at the top, and an indicative size of these different bubbles. The green ones, in those we have already engaged. we have already engaged, and the gray ones are anonymous because I'm not at liberty to disclose which projects those are. So a lot of things, most of the activity right now, most of the buzz is happening in the mining and the processing. And I anticipate that this will shift over to recycling. It's already starting in recycling. And yes, I go on. We have to try to describe the business investment platform. I do it this way. We have a funnel in different time phases. Pipeline, meaning potential cases that we have heard of. Qualified pipeline, then we've all been in contact with them with these cases in some shape or form, where we've at least talked to them. We do a business investment platform compliance test to see if they fit in, if it's a sustainable project, for example, if it's European, if it's 50 million euros of investment need or more is another criteria we have. And then we go into this BIP compliant applications, and we start helping these cases to fill in a template. We get to a BIP selection committee. I have a committee that will then analyze this application. We have a meeting, the case gets a chance to pitch. And if I've done my work properly and the pitch is good and the application looks good, we will then decide to enter into a negotiation with this case, where we come to a contract where we deliver our help as agreed with the case, in order to make them, how do I put it, investable. How do they get interesting for the investors, so to say. You will see that the bubbles here in the BIP compliant application and negotiation only tell you what the scope is of the cases that we are dealing with right now. In the implementation phase, where we actually have put resources on helping these cases, there you see the names because that is public knowledge. On those cases we are already in work trying to help them to get off-takers, find resources, or whatever they might be in need of. Yes, so we've been doing this for a year now. We have 5-6 cases ongoing, and we have these 4 cases in blue, one company on graphite, another company on aluminium, manganese, and an application case as well. Moving on, yes. So where are we in this European battery industry? What is the situation? How far have we come? Most of you will have heard of benchmark minerals, now focusing a little bit more on raw materials than what I just did. This is probably benchmark minerals is probably well known to you all, and they predict how things are going to progress. This report was released not very long ago, and it shows how the lithium demand is going to take off. Here it looks like the demand is taking off from the capacity installed or planned capacity, maybe 2028 or something like that. That's what the benchmark minerals are saying. There are other institutes, good institutes, making these predictions as well. From our rather privileged position in leading this European Battery Alliance and talking to many of these key players on the market on a regular basis, many of them on the demand side, so to say. For example, and the demand side is to the biggest extent still OEMs. We think that is going to change, but some 80, maybe 90% of all the batteries are used in cars still. I think that will change, but it's very representative to talk to them and see how the demand is developing. And this year, it's really kicking off. In fact, it's kicking off to an extent that was not foreseen by many of us in this market. This slide that I'm showing now is just one example. Many of you, this happens to be Germany that I'm showing, one of the biggest car markets in Europe. It is not only Norway anymore. You know that Norway took off very early with EVs, but this is in fact Germany showing these numbers now. The production of EVs in Germany has actually tripled this year. Some reports from September say that maybe we get to 10% all over Europe when it comes to EV sales in the last quarter. Well, that happened only a month later. So we will surpass 10% EVs of new car sales in Europe by the end of this year. So things are going much faster than expected. This is just one example. The curves look the same for France and other big markets, not just the small exotic markets. Another thing that is changing, if you take the time to either look at this slide or go to Transport and Environment, a very well-known institute as well, producing statistics. If you go into the numbers on this slide, you will see that, in fact, for the first time in the history of this industry, then Europe is actually investing more than China, and not only more, but 3 times more than in China. That's what the graph is showing. Before, up until 2019, China was always bigger than Europe, but now something has changed, indicating that, mind you, Europe is by far still not producing that many batteries. This is still true. This is absolutely true. And China is way ahead when it comes to the number of batteries. This is true. But the rate of change is definitely now bigger in Europe than in China. That's a major difference that we see this year. Moving on, a summary page on what it looks like today. This slide shows lists a number of different factories, battery factories across Europe. If you go back to 2017, when this initiative to drive the European battery industry started, the map was empty, practically empty. There were a few cases, but very sporadic interest in a battery industry. So in only 3 years, things have changed remarkably. And this map that I'm showing now is by no means complete. Yes, and I think I'd like to hear if there are any questions on what I have presented so far. I guess that I'm not getting any sign that there aren't any questions. What I'll do then is I'll take a couple of minutes and run very quickly through a few cases. You have already seen the names, and that is the cases that we have put through this business investment platform and are now engaged on. Savannah is one case in Portugal, is one case, and an open pit mine in Portugal, which we have engaged in, and they are now in, let's see, how is it? They are producing the PFS as we speak, and are well on the way to open this mine by the end of 2022. It's an open pit, and the question here is, of course, what do we do with refining? This project does not have its own refining, and that's a question that we still have to answer here in Europe on if every site should have a refinery, or if there should be someone stepping in and making the refineries. This is not clear yet. Moving on, Infinity Lithium is another case going operational 2023. This is in Spain, slightly bigger than the one we just talked about. What do I say about that? Also open pit. Chinovec in Czechia. This one is an underground mine. It is operational. There has been a lot of mining activities in this site before, and it is anticipated to produce lithium by 2024. And then we have a rather innovative case in Germany. In fact, very close to the car industry, the center of the car industry that it's going to feed into, and that is Vulcan zero carbon lithium. Here it is in a way mining. It is utilizing geothermal extraction. So you drill a deep hole and get very hot water, which drives a turbine. Geothermal turbines are already in operation. And then what you do is extract the high content of lithium from this water before you pump down the water back into the ground again. Very innovative solution, operational by 2024. This slide shows a little bit about how it works. That was my presentation. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to talk about the battery industry. I'd like to end by saying that the minerals the materials that we are very interested when it comes to raw materials is, of course, lithium, manganese, nickel, cobalt, and graphite. There are many other rare earths minerals, but those are the ones that we focus on when it comes to the battery industry. And with that, I say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak.